Snake Farm, episode 6. Have you heard that song? Ooh, 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 ooh. Anaconda.
I don't think that's the way it goes.
Hart sings it, right?
Yeah.
Is it Hart?
It's Barracuda.
No, it's Anaconda.
It's Anaconda.
My version's Anaconda, and it
Okay.
sounds just like those girls.
Okay. You can make yourself sound like a girl?
I can make myself sound like I speak in Spanish, and my lips even match it.
That's AI.
Right. I took Hart's song, put it in AI, and I said, make this song, but change Barracuda to Anaconda.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's going to be on your first album?
My Snake Farm album.
Cool.
But it's your vocals.
I think I definitely can't sound like a girl.
You just have to warm your vocals up.
No.
What's it called? Vocal fry? Is that what that's called?
I don't know. When they did my stomach surgery, they nicked my vocal cord.
Really? All right, Snake Farm, what's up?
What's up?
You got a lot of stuff on the table here.
I do have some stuff on the table. I got some new snakes. I've been playing with my 3D printer. I'm having a really good time with that.
You got a fly about to go in your can there.
So yeah, I'm having a good time with the 3D printer. We got some new snakes. I'm working on an enclosure for the carpet python, although I think John's going to try to sell it because
Sell it. I'm going to fucking give it away.
it bites him.
Oh, that's the one in the garage.
I'm going to give it away, or I'm going to put it in the freezer, and then we're going to put it in a jar of formaldehyde. All right.
So now we're just going to we're just going to watch him get bit again.
Oh, he bites all the time. It's not like a bad bite. He just he's not sure where he is, and then he looks over and he's like, I think I can bite this. I'm not trying to get him to bite it. I'm just trying to keep his head away from
Your face?
my hand. But he's super wound up like a spring right now. But I do a live video every night at 9:00 on the SOE channel, and I've been making an effort to hold a snake the entire hour, 90 minutes that I'm online each night, and I hold a different one because all these snakes are little right now, and I have certain snakes that I definitely want to be able to interact and handle with, the anaconda over here especially. So this one here, I had it out, and I don't know, I went 30 minutes with it probably, but it'd be sitting super mellow, and then it would just bam bite me, and it bit me about 20 times on the top of the hand and across, and it doesn't, you don't really even, I mean, it bit you because you're bleeding, but it's not super painful. But it just got to the point where there was blood running down my arm. So I put it away and then got the anaconda out. And like everybody's always said, like, anacondas are super bitey. When we got it out of the cage, the dude was like,
Be careful.
be careful, they bite. And like I say every time, knock on wood, maybe I'm just super lucky, but I've held this anaconda for, I don't know, I've probably got 3, 4, 5 hours holding it. And it's super mellow. Right now, it's in water. These are not the cages these live in either. We just put them in these totes and bring them out here for this. I do not have
A hook.
Well, I don't need a hook. He's all wet. She is all wet. But this will be the first time she bites me right here. But
Maybe not.
super cool. The circles on her, the dots on her are perfect circles. It's just a awesome looking animal.
And then her side dots are almost orange.
Yeah. Yeah, those like ocelot spots. Yeah. She does not ever want to go back in the cage either.
Well, can you blame her?
So I don't know why I even took her out since we're not going to show her up close, but there's that. And then there's this retic over here. It's probably, what do you think, 24 inches, 28 inches? I wouldn't pull that out.
She's definitely smaller than my first ones. They said that she's a 24 animal.
She moves super fast.
She's a lavender motley, het titanium, and pied.
But she's got a stripe on her. Like, we have lavender albinos and stuff, and see how she's breathing real heavy? She's a little wound up. Mm-hmm. She's struck at the cage we have her in a couple times walking past, but I've pulled her out a couple times, and As long as you tap her with the hook, bring her out, she's okay. She's super fast, just like a retic at first, and then she kind of calms down. So we went, last podcast we were talking, we're going to a show in Nashville. It was a Show Me Reptile show, and we had a really good time. We talked to the social media guy of the show, the promoter, and then we talked to the dude that actually owns the show. They were both super cool. I can't remember that dude's name, but he is real. I walked out, I go, hey, I recognize you from all the social media. I go, I got to tell you, like, you're doing really good with this because I see your posts every single day.
Yep.
And then we got to talking, and he's like, man, I'd love to come out and do a podcast. Maybe you and I could do a podcast once a week or something, do a reptile podcast. So we got something in the works there. They are coming into Murfreesboro at the end of the month. Can you kill that, please? Have that removed. Don't let it sting you. At the end of the month is a reptile show in, you gonna vacuum it up? Murfreesboro, and that'll be the first show we actually set up as a vendor. So we'll have some merchandise out there, some t-shirts and stuff. We've been to maybe a dozen shows so far, and every now and then you'll see people selling shirts, but they look pretty childish.
Yeah, they're all heat press t-shirts.
So we're going to have our guy screen. We'll do 120 pieces. First one we're going to do is the anaconda, and then we're going to have the information. It'll basically just be kind of like when you're a kid and you looked at a pretty, basic book, it'll just say anaconda, scientific name, max size, max weight, and prey or something like that. It'll just be, a couple lines of text. It'll be they'll stand out in a maybe yellow or something. And then full color of the anaconda, just kind of, sitting there. And I think that'll be cool. We're going to do that. We're going to do a reticulated python, Burmese python, probably ball python, and then a couple of other snakes. We'll see how those first ones do. And then we got some merchandise and stuff. I think Amanda's taking some 3D printed stuff. We'll probably take a few animals with us. Maybe take the big, huge retic with us. I just don't see, because that was super cool, right? What is it? Is it RK Reptiles out of Memphis?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He had a retic there, an albino retic male that was 10 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet. I think it was 10 feet. And I think he had it in an 8-foot cage. And that was the biggest snake. And people just loved that, right? Most people have never face to face with a really big snake. So to take something cool in there.
You could do you could take the 9-foot one.
Mm-hmm. That lavender albino?
Yeah. Simply because she's very docile and she is accustomed to being handled. You could I think you could take her and not have any issues as far as handling her, getting her in and out of the cage.
I'm not bringing it to handle her or let people handle her. I'm bringing it for people to see up close.
Right. Yes.
Like people get these animals and they think, 10-foot snake, so what? Like, they have no idea. Like, once you have a snake that's 10 feet, that sucker's 10 pounds heavier. Like, he goes bigger around every foot. He gets bigger. And those are real big animals, which some people like, And if you did that with a retic, you got 3 years till you have to really start dealing with, major caging like that. Yeah. Which people are very concerned with. I did a video, a short on YouTube and Instagram, and I said, people ask me all the time how many snakes we have, and the truth is I really don't know. These are just my wife's personal pets. Like, they all have names. They all know their names. They all do circus tricks. And I just walk by, and I'm like, here's a retic, here's a retic, here's a berm, here's a berm, here's a berm, here's a retic, here's a retic. I don't know how many was there. There's probably 20 up
25.
There. And people are like, oh my God, you don't know what you've gotten into. You're going to have to, move into a different house. And a lot of people are just, making comments. But I think some of them, they just don't know. We've kept lots and lots of animals. Like, we have a really big building. The building here is 16,000 feet. The building right next door to this one is 900 feet. And that is just solely for caging. That's what's going in there. Nothing but reptile caging. Snake caging specifically. And then the plan with the bigger ones, as they get bigger, like the anaconda, I can bring in place of literally the cost to build a proper cage for the anacondas, I can bring in a 10 by 12 shed and have it placed and just keep running them out next door to next door to next door to next door. And we can build them out however we want at that point. We can put membrane down or shower membrane or whatever, and then put proper, water bowls in there that are elevated with drains. And we can, run the building. We can tilt the building to the back so we can actually wash those things out. And we can put shower stall material or whatever in those at that point, like actual, zoo caging. So I'm not concerned with it. We have the area to do it, and we have the ability to do that. So,
and we have time. Like that's the other thing.
Your time's going to run out really quick, and it's going to happen all at once.
For the retics, yeah, because a lot of them are all the same. Like most of our retics are all 2025 animals. They're
well, they're also mainland. There's no like everybody, and I'm always gun shy of the dwarf stuff. People are like dwarf Krakatoa, Catalua, and like I don't know any of the dwarf shit, but you're taking that dude's word for that. Like I walk up at a reptile show and see dwarf this, dwarf that, $3,000, and I'm like, I don't know what's in it. It's like hets, right? Mm-hmm. You just met some dude who has no, at least on Morph Market, they have a rating or, breeders like Wildfire out of Utah. Like that dude has a reputation. Like 100% when you buy something from him, you're getting what he says you're getting. But you meet some rando at the reptile show, like you don't know what that like, and you don't know until it's too late. You're like, how much? Maybe he's off a little bit on the dwarf, right? This is supposed to be like a 6-foot retic, and here we are at 12 feet. Like you just take their word, and you don't know until it proves out, years later, and you've paid all that money for that thing. And I don't want small retics anyways. I mean,
we do have one that has Jampea, which I believe is a dwarf or a smaller retic. It's like 35% or something like that.
Yeah, so they come from the islands. You've got mainland, and then you've got the small islands, and the small islands have, smaller animals on them. So apparently there's some dwarf berms running around also. Like people are breeding dwarf berms, and they're breeding things to be smaller. And then you had dwarf, and then you had super dwarf, and dwarf would get up to like 12 feet, whereas super dwarf was supposed to stay 6 feet ish. Like Mikey's morphs.
Yeah.
He's got a small retic that's, an adult. It's like 3 years or something, and it's pretty, well, we saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it when we went over there. But right now what we're dealing with is caging. We have 6-foot cages right now. We're about to take, because we got that big retic in a cage, we need a much bigger cage. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and frame out a 4x8-foot cage, 3 feet tall. And then we'll build it out. And we started talking about it. I'm like, man, this thing pees. And when it pees gallons. So we were talking about, they got this honeycomb stuff. It's actually square grid. You used to see it in industrial buildings over all the fluorescent lights. So I was thinking we could put that down, put the potty pads down, put that grid down, and then put the paper over the top. So when it pees, at least it falls in there, and then we can, move it back and just clean it out a little bit easier. But I was saying, man, we should just build up an empty cage so that when we need to change it, we just take the snake, put it in the clean cage, and then clean this cage. And we always have, like, that's how I do with the colubrids. I move them from in the trays. I just will literally move a snake to the clean tray and then clean the tray it was in. And I know people like, well, it smells itself. They do. And you can see, like in male retics, get in there. Wildfire had put up a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and he's like, I just cleaned this snake's cage, but he smells the other male and he wants to mate. So he's in here throwing a tantrum, and he's literally just moved, 10 gallons of water and just kicked it all the way to the other side of the 10-foot cage. And he's like, when they're doing this, these knuckleheads, when they do this, like, just don't open the cage. Like, they're going to be assholes. So just let him kind of calm down. But it's his own scent that he's smelling in there. So I don't know. That could be an issue in the future.
Men.
But with like colubrids, I've never had an issue with it. Maybe they smell each other, but I've never seen one like flip out over it. So what I think we're going to do, though, is take immediately, because we have more of those 6-foot PVC cages in the boxes, we're going to leave the back off of 2 of them or leave the front off of one and the back, and we're just going to put them back to back. So the footprint will be 6 by 4 feet, and that'll double his room until we get the other cage built out. And then when we have the cage in there, I think we're just I was going to put a shelf in there, but I think what we'll do is just put like a table basically with 2 by 4 legs and a sheet of plywood on top of it. And then we'll just epoxy it or lacquer it or, seal it up somehow. And it'll just sit in there. And then the snake will, because they will climb. Like if you took that big 16-foot retic and gave it the ability to climb, it'll climb. People just don't have room for that. Like if you had one animal, you could do that. If you got 50 animals, you just don't have room for that type of caging.
Not unless you house them together, which you can.
Like everybody was like, you see all this stuff about them climbing. Like I've kept snakes for 40 years. And like I put branches in cages and stuff, and those snakes never climbed. I never had a boa sit up in a branch. I never, other than a green tree python. But Amanda's got branching and caging and a lot of this in these little cages, and all of these small berms and these small retics, they all climb. Especially if you give them something with a notch, they'll get up there and sit. And I saw a guy being just a complete asshole to Amanda. It's like, these snakes won't climb and it's not a thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought too. Like I would have really like fought 6 weeks ago, but I walk through there all the time and those cages are shit. And she put a picture up in there and she's like, well, here's a,
this is in response.
This is a 40-inch retic sitting here in this branch. It could be in the hide, it could be anywhere, and it's sitting here all the time. And there's a bunch of them that are. She's got a ton of them that do. So it kind of makes me question, given the opportunity, will they or not? And like I remember seeing in the San Diego Zoo, in the big they had 2 reptile houses at the San Diego Zoo, but the big one had massive cages. And maybe they're not as big as I remember them, but I'll bet those corner cages are like 30 by 30. It's a big square you just walk around. And they had a big boa in one corner. One corner had a berm, and then they had an anaconda. And I remember those big berms would sit up in those trees, and the retics over the years, I remember, and they would be up in those trees, but they had like full damn trees. Like, I don't know if they were real or not, but they were in those corner cages. They could have been made of concrete or something, like Disney does with all their stuff. But watching these dudes make these cages and stuff now, like Brian Barczyk's place, that caging he has over there, and then the new reptile zoo place that we keep seeing, like that guy making all that stuff out of foam and carving all that stuff, and then they put the concrete like stucco over it. Man, it looks like real waterfalls and stuff in there. It's beautiful with live plants and shit. It's pretty wild. Now, like I said earlier, those big retics, that thing pees like 2 gallons. When it goes to the bathroom, it poops out a coffee can worth of snake poop. Like we just fed it. When did we do the cage last? Was it last? Friday. We did it this Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday because we fed it at the same time.
So to feed the big snake, we occupy it because it's so big. We either have to take it outside and watch it and kind of move it to where we want it to be, which isn't a problem, or we can just feed it and then it'll be completely pacified, I guess. Just, content.
It'll be occupied.
So we fed it a 12. I have some really big old breeder rabbits that I'm getting rid of one by one so that I can use the caging for stuff that'll actually produce. And I had a really big rabbit. I mean, massive. And I'm like, man, I wonder what this weighs. I would have told you it was 20 pounds. Like that's literally, I thought it felt like a 25-pound plate to me. So I had dispatched it, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and it filled half the 5-gallon. Those are actually 6-gallon buckets, those orange Home Depot buckets. I'm like, man, I'm going to weigh this. And I weighed it, and I was kind of bummed. It only weighed 12 pounds, but that's still a huge rabbit. And look up for me average weight adult New Zealand rabbit. And this sucker, he ate it and ate it no problem. I don't know that I would feed it a rabbit that size again. Just because she just looks so miserable sitting there.
Well, and you definitely don't want to do it anytime soon.
Well, she's about to poop that out.
9 pounds to around 12 pounds.
9 to 12. Okay, so it's It was just, she was done breeding. I had tried to breed her a couple more times, and she just never would, accept it. So we produce a lot of rabbits. I have so many rabbits that I'm like, man, I do not have room in the freezer for these rabbits. So we're about to list, hey, we have rabbits for like homesteaders and dog, and that's what I'm doing with the big ones. I'm not going to give them to the snakes. I just feed them to the dogs. We have some really big dogs, livestock guardian dogs, and we, for the most part, feed rabbits and chickens. I have so many of them. There's always old ones. So that's for the most part what they eat, and organs and skin and everything, bones. They just eat it all up. And it's my oldest dog, like, disappears them the fastest. Like, she will just chew them up. The other two kind of eat part of them, and then you smell them, and you're like, oh my God. And you'll go to take it, and they'll run away with it, and then they'll want it. They literally want to let it just sit there and rot.
Yeah, Magnus will literally hide it.
Yep.
And let it rot for a couple days and then go back and eat it.
Yeah, he sure will.
Gross.
So we're going to, list in some of the local homestead groups and reptile groups and stuff. We got rabbits. I just saw somebody posting, and they ship them. They vacuum seal them and ship them out. I don't want to deal with shipping frozen or, dry ice stuff.
The dry ice would be the problem because there's not anywhere near here that has it.
I believe Walmart sold it. I believe you can get
Not
dry
ours.
ice.
I bet you not ours.
Put in dry ice 38320 and see if anything comes up. I'll bet all the air gas places have it. All the welding gas places and stuff. I'll bet all your ice cream stores have it.
I'm going to search for your Walmart one.
Yeah, you used to be able to get it from 31 Flavors in San Diego. In Santa, they had it for parties and stuff. Anyways, we produce a lot of rabbits, and then we breed those pretty well, so we can use those smaller ones. But we're about to feed Burms and retics maybe tonight, just so we can occupy them and clean the cages over again.
We need to feed all the
Colubrids, Hondurans, and
Hondurans.
king snakes. That's easy, though. I can feed 100 of those in
no
40
problem.
minutes, under 40 minutes.
Yeah, the longest is just
It's saying the Walmart here doesn't.
defrosting the rats.
I wonder if E.W. James has it. That's
No.
our other kind of grocery store.
No, they're not gonna.
All right, well, we're not going to ship frozen. You're gonna come pick them up, or we're gonna bring them to you in Nashville.
So they have a thing now. I saw they're doing freeze dried whole prey.
For snake food?
You just fucking put it in a cup and rehydrate it for 30 minutes.
Could you imagine? What are they freeze drying?
The ad I saw was rats.
Freeze dried rats. Who's selling those?
I don't remember the name of the company, but I was like, that's crazy. And then I looked at the comments and people were bitching about the price. And it's like, it's shelf stable. You don't have to put them in the freezer. You don't have to, like, they're not going to get freezer burn. Like, I think it's a cool idea. I don't know that I want to do it, but the pricing would probably be the issue because people.
Well, I mean, if you look at we own a freeze dryer. For people that don't know, we have a Harvest Right large. They now have a XL, which is enormous. But for freeze drying, I mean, we could only put one rabbit in there. And how long is it going to take to freeze dry that rabbit? I remember people, for like taxidermy stuff, you have to take the organs out and then they freeze dry and then they still kind of sew it back up with cotton or something inside there. But it takes like, I thought it was days and days.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
sure. Yeah.
Like we freeze dry eggs and it takes 3 days. Could you imagine freeze drying an entire rabbit?
You'd have to freeze it first, and then put it in there and freeze dry it.
Still,
And I would imagine it'd be several days.
whoever's doing that operation is like got a good idea they're testing out. They're going to find out it's not viable, or
Well,
they have a massive commercial freeze
That's
dryer.
what I was going to say. I think they have probably one of those massive ones.
Yeah, they're like shipping containers you roll
Because,
into.
like-
AJ would know how to do it.
Because like our freeze dryer, you could freeze dry all the way up to like full grown mice.
Yeah, you can do rats in there easy.
They won't fit between the shelves. The shelves are only an inch.
You're going to have to take some of the shelves out. you're not going to be able to run 6 trays. You're going to run 3 trays. That's how you're going to have to do it. Do you have that vacuum there? Turn around. There's a wasp on your chair. Okay, the wasp isn't on your chair. I don't know where it went.
Oh, it's right here.
Can you kill that, please?
Well, there's 2 of them right beside each other.
Can you just kill all of them?
Here's one.
The other one's in the window. It's right there. You see it? With the window right there. If you have flying bugs, if you've got wasps or anything like that, by the cord where the cord crosses, we have a little Milwaukee shop vac, a handheld shop vac, and this one's a 12 volt, but we've got a bunch of 18s also, and they are great, man. But you can vacuum up wasps or bugs or anything like that, man. It's great for that. If you're worried about getting stung, you can just tap a little bit of, wasp killer in there, and it'll vacuum it up there. I like to give it to employees that I don't like and be like, hey, can you empty this in the dumpster? But anyways, you got to have employees for that. Get you enough employees, you'll have one you don't like.
Absolutely.
So what's next?
Next, we're just prepping for the show. It's in 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks? Holy cow.
Not even 2 weeks. I think it's like 10 days.
I was just talking to Brandon too. Let me tell him I need a...
Yeah, 10 days. So I'm going to have some 3D printed shit. We're going to have t-shirts. I don't know what animals we're going to have.
Keep talking.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the show in Murfreesboro. We've never been to one out there, so.
So yeah, I assume it's not going to be as big, but I was very surprised. Like a Show Me Reptile show, we had been to one of those in Memphis, which was rather small. So I kind of expected it to be that, but they did it at a venue on Operaland, which was, the parking was weird. Like Operaland didn't do any promotion for the show, and I saw Balls of Fury.
Yeah.
Shay's Reptiles introduced me to Balls of Fury, and we had seen a video he popped up that said, hey, the parking is really confusing, but here's a Google Earth view of it. So we kind of knew what we were looking for, and the venue was nice. They could definitely pack it up. How many vendors were there at that show? Do you know?
I don't.
Like when we walked in, there was a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people. And then we were there for a couple hours, decided what we wanted to buy, the Anaconda. Then Amanda wanted this Hellion carpet python, which is just sitting here wanting to bite something right now. And then this retic. And I didn't want the retic or the carpet python, but the retic's cool. But the Anaconda, and it's a Paragon animal, which Jim, as far as I know, I mean, I see other guys on Morph Market doing them, but Jim's kind of known as, the high-end stuff. And we've got quite a few Paragon animals here. I had told him, I go, hey, I bought one. He goes, yeah, I'm going to get you a black dragon next. I'm like, don't twist my arm. It's an all-black water monitor, like the Asian water monitor that's in the garage right now. So anyways, the Show Me show was super cool. They definitely have room to pack a lot more vendors. The turnout was really good from what I saw. And venue was cool. So we took off, got the animals, met Tim. We saw him. We talked to him and his kids for a little bit. And then we went to eat. We shot over to Brentwood to eat. Cody was coming into town, so we went back to the show. And that's when we were really talking to a lot of just the people there and talking about, getting them on the podcast and stuff. And everybody was super receptive to it. Like almost like some of them even seemed excited about doing it. So that's very cool to get people that have been in the industry for a while and just get different perspectives on things. When you sit down and talk, you always definitely learn stuff. We met a guy, and I cannot remember his name. I took his business card, and I've not been able to find it. But he just had, I thought it was like hognose snakes or something he had on that back wall. But he had some really cool snake hooks. And I'm like, hey, man, tell me about these snake hooks. And he's like, man, there's a guy out of Texas that makes these things. And he had a few of them. I'm like, what's this for? He had this one that just had like a stub on it. And I go, is this for like turning boards over?
He's like, no, it's for pulling
Opening
drawers
cages.
open.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, do you keep venomous? He goes, I do, but I don't keep venomous in drawers. He uses it for, I think he said like ball pythons. He's like, when you're feeding ball, they always shoot out a lot, and you just get bit a lot. So this is a drawer pull, which I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And I'd looked at that big snake hook I had in the garage that I was just showing you. So when we went back in, I'm like, hey, I'd like to buy one of these. And I think he gave me the small one. Maybe we bought it, but he's like, you know what's cool about these small ones is it telescopes, but the hook doesn't rotate. So the rod inside must have an indent or something in it. He's like, a lot of the ones that they collapse, when you pick the animal up, it will rotate, and these ones don't. But they're super nice. I would like to have some more of them. I'm going to need to find his card or find out who's out of Texas doing those things.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a even bigger one, a more robust one. Cody was trying to use the hook on the big retic just when we had it out there, and it like bent my whole collapsible snake hook. It no longer collapses.
Cody thinks that we need a paint roller
Well, that's what
thing, like the
that's what Chris used.
yeah, and a broomstick. And I'm like, a broomstick is not holding that 100-pound snake.
Well, you don't really use a hook to move the 100-pound snake unless you're scared of the 100-pound snake. So, anything else?
The Asian water monitor now will eat from my tongs.
Would he not all along? Mm-mm. When we got him, I could hold him, and he was just totally cool. And now after not holding him every day, he bows up and whips you with his tail, and his claws are getting longer. So you're going to have to make a decision where you hold this thing every day, or he's never going to be tame at that point. You have to spend time with him.
Well, I go out and I talk to him every day.
Well, the last time I had him out, he projectile shit all over me.
Yeah, about that.
I've had snakes poop all over me, but I've literally picked up retics, and they'll kind of be combative looking at you, and they will literally put their tail back to intentionally, I swear they do it on purpose.
Yep.
They use it like to shit on you on purpose.
Absolutely. I've seen it happen.
I've never
wipe
seen
it
that.
all over you.
Never seen that. Yeah, Cody had that. He had poop all over him when that thing pooped on him. One of those, I don't know, it's probably 8 feet in there, 8 feet.
Yep. So
The poop master.
So I talk to the monitor I literally go out there, open the cage, talk to the monitor.
You know, it can't hear you, right?
Bullshit. It has membranes on the side of its head.
No, they have no ears.
It picks up vibration.
Your snakes have no ears either.
No, but they pick up vibration.
Okay, let me tell you. Your lizard does have ears, which I think you know. But the snakes have no ears. They don't hear you.
But they pick up vibration, including the vibration that your voice makes.
I don't think this snake right here hears you or feels you. He feels this table, and he knows you're moving, and he wants to bite the shit out of you.
Okay, well, that's fine. I think you're wrong.
So if you're a new listener and you want to share and comment, maybe we'll send you a free carpet python.
This month's giveaway.
Safe
carpet python.
Yeah.
Carpet python. Free.
Yeah.
Beautiful pattern.
Harmless animal.
I still say the best carpet pythons are coming from S Scales out of Vegas.
Yeah, probably.
And who's that dude in Queensland in Australia? He's got some crazy looking ones. And there's a couple dudes over in Europe too. But I think Scales has just the prettiest, those high yellow.
Yeah.
And you're looking like $2,000, $3,000 animals for those.
Yeah, I paid $200 for this. So.
Yep, it was worth about 20. Not really. I mean, it'll be a great snake on display when we give it some branches
pretty.
and stuff. It is pretty. It looks a little jaguarish.
I have a glass enclosure that I have siliconed and foamed and built platforms and all
Is that what
this.
you're trying to put in there?
And I literally just need to finish it, and then I'm going to put that guy in it.
I'm looking to see jungle carpet versus carpet. They're two different pythons bred together, which I didn't know. All this time I never knew that. I saw that the other day. Let's see. This is a what? Jungle carpet?
Yes.
Jungle carpet python. Jungle carpet python is... That looks like it right there.
Yeah.
That's that scale. That's that dude's in Vegas. Jungle carpet python explore the largest selection of jungle carpet. That's not what I need. $300 to $1,600. Morelia spilicta. Okay, we're not doing the scientific name. Jungle carpet python is non-venomous semi-arboreal python species native to rainforests of Queensland, Australia, known for its striking black and yellow coloration. Okay, I thought the jungle carpet was mixed with something. Maybe not.
It's a different locality, I think.
Yeah, I saw something the other day. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, so if you want to win the jungle carpet python, we can send it to you in a quart jar of formaldehyde.
We're going to send it to you in a Ziploc bag.
We can send it to you. I don't know. You can come pick it up. You can win a no expenses paid trip to Camden, Tennessee to take receipt of your vicious little snake. All right, you got to do payroll.
You're not giving my snake away.
You won't even know. You will have no idea. I will replace that with a well-mannered snake.
A well-mannered snake.
Like this anaconda right here. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, what are we going to do for that enclosure?
You keep asking me that like there's a concern with it.
Well, there is a concern with it.
I'm going to first put it in a 30-inch PVC enclosure. And then I'm going to put it in a 36-inch PVC enclosure. And then I'm going to put it in a 48-inch PVC enclosure. And then I'm going to move it to a 60-inch. And then we're going to put it in a 72. And when it's too big for the 72, we're going to put it in its own building. Wouldn't you like to open a door and see like 20 of those in there? Who's the dude, Anaconda Keeper? He had one in what looked to be a closet. He had a closet like in, I think it's in a room in his house or condo or something. But he opened the door and it struck out. He was going to feed it. And there's a video of him. It's from a couple years ago, but he reposted it a little while ago. If you check out Anaconda Keeper on Instagram, and he calls his wife's name, and he's like, I fucked up. And the snake had hit him and wrapped around him. And he's like, I'm okay. I just need help unwrapping him. But it had got him because, they're food.
Yeah.
They just have a prey drive. And when you only open the cage, and I don't know what his situation was, but he was definitely keeping it in a closet with a door. So it wasn't seeing him. So he opened the door and bam, it got him.
Again, snakes sense vibration. So the snake sensed him walking up to the door, knows that the door opens when it's getting fed, and so it struck. But these are apex predators, and they are ambush predators. So they naturally are going to ambush you or their prey. That's
It's cool seeing from like the berms and the retics, their eyes are kind of in the same place. Mm-hmm. When you look at the anaconda, its eyes are closer to the top of its head and they're very close together.
because
They sit there in the water waiting to eat things off of the shore.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
lions, pumas,
Pumas.
jaguars,
I would like a puma.
house cats.
I would like a black puma.
Oh, I'll bet the cats would drive them nuts being out here in their own buildings and stuff with all the cats around out
I'm
here.
sure. So I had a crazy dream last night. I dreamt I walked out of the back door and we had a pit.
Which back door?
That one.
The kitchen back door?
Yes. And there was like a pit, but the foliage, like the trees were a lot closer to the building. So, and there's this pit and it's like full of snakes, big snakes, like the 9-foot one, right? And they're all like different colors, berms and retics, and they're all just kind of like rolling around in there. And I turn and I look to the side of where this ball of snakes are, and there's fucking kittens in the pit. And I'm screaming at you, we've got to get the kittens out of the pit because the snakes are going to eat the kittens, and how in the hell did the kittens get there? And blah, like.
So what happened?
I woke up. But it was crazy. I woke up and I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
So I used to go to Bob Applegate's house, Robert Applegate, when he was in El Cajon. And he had a snake pit. I want to say it was probably, I don't know. I was probably like 12, maybe 10. But I want to say it's like 10 by 10 feet and maybe 6 feet deep. Mm-hmm. And it was all cinder block and it had a sand bottom. And then it was like painted with something so that snakes couldn't like get up the side. It was not coarse or porous. They painted it with some kind of paint like lizards couldn't, I don't think, even climb out of there. And I remember I'd go over there and see different snakes in there. And I remember seeing king snakes and some other snakes and stuff in there. I'm like, don't they eat?
Yeah, I would
Won't
be.
the king snakes eat them? He's like, no. And he said, I feed them all the time. As long as they're fed, those king snakes, plus the other snakes are bigger. I think there was like some gophers in there. There might have been rattlesnakes back then. I don't know for sure if Bob had rattlesnakes. I have no idea. But I seem to, maybe I'm mixing up a couple different people. But those king snakes, everything in there was well fed. I remember because he was breeding mice. I'd go over there to buy mice.
Yeah.
And I'd go over and buy like 2 mice. Looking back, man, I must have been such a pain in the ass to Bob Applegate because I had his phone number and I would call him frequently. I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? And I would just have like some snake question. I would think of a snake question
Who does that remind you
to
of?
call Bob Applegate. And he's like, I'm in the bathtub.
That
And he was
totally-
always kind of like a grumpy dude.
Yeah, that totally reminds me of Sebastian. Sebastian would have been like that too.
Yeah, he would have.
Just fucking inquisitive.
Calling knife makers and
Yeah.
stuff. But I looked up Bob Applegate a couple weeks ago, and he's still operating. He was at the Pomona show, which I think is like the premier show out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So he had teamed up with somebody, and now he came to this dude, and he's like, hey, I want to retire and kind of get out of this. So this dude is taking over. So like all Bob Applegate's pyros, and we've got Bob Applegate animals here, and he's got, for some of the stuff, he's still the man, you know. So this other dude's taken over. So I've got some Arizona Mountain Kings that are Bob Applegate specials and a few other things. So pretty cool.
Yep, very cool.
All right, you got to get payroll done. We got 30 minutes till the employees start leaving, and we've got real work that we got to do now.
Time for the real work.
And then once everybody leaves, we do the dirty work.
Snake poop.
Snake farm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anaconda. Do it. You do it.
I can't.
You can. I hear you singing in the shower.
I sing all the time.
That camera I have in there watching you, I hear you sing all the time.
I don't care. I don't sing in the shower because I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm learning about snakes and I'm learning about 3D printers. I'm
Okay.
not singing in the shower. But I do sing every night we go to dinner at Country and Western. We sit outside and they play music over the speakers. And I literally sit there and I sing while I put my email together and he scrolls on his phone.
It's business. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, I literally
People
sing.
look at us and they're like, man, these people just sit on their phones all the time. We're together 24 hours, like literally 24 hours a day, unless we're in the bathroom. And then usually I follow her in there too.
And it's not like, typically when we're on our phones, it's not like we're just scrolling fucking bullshit. I'm responding to people.
Yeah.
I'm doing a text message. I'm, checking sales for the day, whatever the case may be. Like
For sure.
I can run a lot of my business off my phone.
I got 6, 8, 10 different accounts that I do, so we're always, somebody's asking something.
Yeah.
Usually it's a problem, some fire we're trying to put out for someone. All right, we'll see you guys next